180R. I want to make sure I can see this chat here. Yep. Let's open this thing. So this new case, people liked, they had aluminum cases before this. I kind of like the way the aluminum cases look a little bit more. But I don't know, they're just kind of mixing it up with these new fabric cases. There she is. So, you know, like this thing's gonna have, let's open this other side first. We can talk about some of the things it comes with. This is definitely coming with the new, let's see if I can get it out of there. Oh God, Jesus. The new S63 barrel, but this one is gonna be the version for their, you know, just cheaper guns. That's typically not, that is definitely not how you put that in there. This one, for their cheaper guns, it's going to not have as much like crazy milling. So you can see how it's pretty simple. It's going to be simple, just like really the other 170R barrels in the past, but it's going to take those inserts. I really like the idea of these guns taking these inserts. One of the problems with the previous guns would you have to buy entire barrel backs. So it's really cool how they're just adding these additional inserts now. You can buy these things for 25 bucks versus the like 65 or whatever the previous barrel backs were. So I really like this new barrel system. Come with that, and then obviously you get normal stuff, barrel cover, parts kit. Always the best parts kit. I mean, these parts kits are insane. This is pretty much every O-ring you will ever need. Barrel cover, grease, you know, manual, and then finally that thing, the 180R. And definitely, I noticed a difference right away picking the thing up, right? One of the external things that's a big difference between this and the previous 170R is really the trigger frame. You can't really see because this camera is manual focused and I do not have it focused. But it's definitely quite a bit thinner right here. Just holding the thing, you can for sure feel a difference. The trigger frame itself, the aluminum, I do not believe is thinner. It's really just that they've reworked these grips and made the grips quite a bit thinner. They're not as thick as they were before. And they also have the new quick strip grip. So they have like no tool at the top, but you definitely still need to use that Allen key to get out that screw at the bottom of the grips. But I like it. It feels very good. These front grips are really chunky and square. I don't know how I feel about them. I've never really liked them, mainly because my hand is just too big for it. You know, my hand kind of sticks out the bottom of the thing. So they don't really fit my hands that well. But I really do like these this new grip frame. Again, like I said, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it definitely has like a little bit of an hourglassy shape, how it gets a little bit more tapered up toward the top. And that's certainly something you can see. I really like the new eye covers. I think just the side of the gun just looks good. It still has the same... These things are so stiff the first couple times. Foregrip still comes off the same. It's still going to have the same eye covers, you know. The same style eyes. You're still going to have that like light pipe prism eye and the same idea for the eye system. Probably the biggest change they made to this is the new OPR core. Let's try to get that on there without messing the tag up. The OPR core. So that OPR core is a new version of the Gamma core. I want to make sure I have my notes up so I'm not crazy. A new version of the Gamma core that operates at 120 PSI. A new version of the Gamma core. A lot of people are really smart about these bolts and know considerably more about just how they work than I do. I've never really invested the time to like figure out exactly how all these spool valve guns work, but that is a new version of that Gamma core. It's the exact same Gamma core that's going to be found in the CS3, although in the CS3 they just call it the OP core, and it does operate at a little bit lower pressure, the CS3, than this 180R. The CS3 is a little bit longer and it's a little bit bigger on the inside, so there's like a little bit more volume that helps it shoot a little different and makes air efficiency maybe a little bit better. On there, it's coming with the new FT bolt as well. It's coming with their new soft face bolt. So instead of the like rubber extending all the way across the face of the bolt, you can kind of just see those little two tabs in there. Those are rubber, and those will help kind of cushion the impact when that paintball hits it. So that if you have like really fragile paintballs or something like that, that bolt tip might be a little bit easier on paint than the Venturi bolt with a hard face. The Venturi bolt is coming in the CS3 as well. You get the CS3 Venturi bolt and that new FT bolt. These things are going to come with a mechanical frame. They are not out yet, and I'm not 100% sure on the price of the mechanical frame. I mean, judging from the past, I would assume that the mechanical frames are probably going to be about $250 to $200. The CS3 frame is going to be $300, but it's probably a little bit more complicated and going on a higher end gun, so it's probably going to cost a little bit more. Whereas these things, you know, it's just cheaper, so it'll probably, mechanical frame will probably represent the price of that and maybe be a little bit cheaper than the mechanical frame for the CS3. One of the things I want to do, I just want to compare these a little bit too. So that is the CS3, that brand new high-end gun from Planet Eclipse. There should be a review out on this thing this weekend, guys. 100%. Saturday or Sunday, there will be a CS3 review. And I kind of want to put them together. I just want to like sort of see if there's like any length difference. Really, my God, they're like identical in length about. Very similar in size. Very similar. Yeah, the CS3, like I said, is just slightly longer. One of the things that I like about these CS3s quite a bit is actually they've kind of tapered the grip frame a little more. It's a little wider at the bottom and kind of gets a little more narrow toward the top. I don't know, I really like that like ergonomics. It really reminds me of like my EMEC or say like the ETHA 3 or ETHA 2 trigger frame. Whereas these are still a little fatter at the top. I mean, you can definitely see how it's wider at the bottom and definitely gets a little bit smaller toward the top. But I don't know, I kind of like the even smaller feel, I think, of that grip frame. Triggers are also quite a bit different on these things. This has that like rake trigger and is far more adjustable than that 170R G-Tech trigger, but these still, you can still just trade the face of that trigger if you want to go for like a deuce trigger, you want to try a scythe trigger, or something crazy like that. And I asked in the chat what you guys thought. Is the 180R worth $1,100, the new price of this thing? And we're gonna go with 78% of you said no. It's probably not good. I wonder if it's good if it's worth $800 though, the previous price of these things. So yeah, in the past they were $800. So it does kind of suck that, you know, you're seeing a $200 price increase, but everything's just more expensive now. I mean, Planet Eclipse has had a hard time getting parts. They've doubled the price of some of their parts. Some of the suppliers have wanted double the money. That's one of the reasons they switched away from using the OLC or the LCD screen on their guns and went to that, like, again, it's not really focusy, and went to that way more bright and really a little bit more readily available, and I think probably cheaper displays, was just because they had such a hard time getting those LCDs. Turning it off. Who's got questions about this thing? $800? $800? Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely increased quite a bit in price. I know some people were saying that this kind of like is not a mid-range gun anymore, but you know, it's still almost half the price of this. I mean, this thing's $1,800 and this thing's $1,100. So it's still kind of in that mid-range price. I mean, I definitely think that like this is on the verge of probably like not being mid-range anymore. You know, it's kind of a higher endish gun when it starts to maybe tip over that $1,000 price, but it still kind of fits in that mid-range price. Yep. Devin says, I have one. The ergos and the shot make it worth 200 more for me. Yeah, I think that at least they've kind of like added the same, we'll say, like bolt system and stuff from the CS3, so that's kind of cool. But it kind of already like shared a bolt for quite some time before. Man, this tank is full of air. It's really heavy. Yeah, see, I like that, right? I don't dislike the way that feels, but these trigger frames are just, the front foregrip is just so small for me. It feels like my hand's gonna like kind of like squeeze out the bottom. Whereas on this CS3, yeah, I mean, it's still, you know, it's still not perfectly fitting in my hand, but it's just a little bit longer, and I feel like I can get a little bit of a little better grasp on the thing. The 180R